In Section 6.7, we'll be looking at some of the applications that involve percents. And in this section, we're going to be looking at consumer mathematics. Okay. Throughout this section, we're going to be using the percent equation to solve most of the problems in this section, like the part is going to be equal to the percent multiplied by the whole. In this case here, the whole is going to be the amount that's after the word of, and the defining word for the part will be is, and the percent is always going to be expressed as a decimal. If you recall, when you write a percent as a decimal, you always drop your percent sign and move the decimal point 2 places to the left. And here's the first application for percents, and that's sales tax. All states, almost all states and counties and cities do impose a tax on the sales of all products and services, and that's called sales tax. And is usually computed automatically at the cash register as a percent of the product's retail price. So if you want to compute the sales tax, you always multiply the product's retail price by the sales tax rate. And always the sales tax rate is going to be in the form of a percent. And to find the total cost, you always take the retail price of the product and add the sales tax to it. But you first have to compute the sales tax, and then whatever that is, you have to add that to the cost of the item to get the total price. Like in this example, we'll start by finding out what the sales tax is. Here, the price of a calculator is $87.49. Find the sales tax if the sales tax rate is 6.74%. In this case here, the price of the calculator is $87.49. We'll multiply that by 6.74%, but as a decimal, we have to change that to 0.0674. We drop the percent sign and move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So 6.74% converts to 0.0674. And that's multiplied by 87.49, which will be to 2 decimal places, since we're dealing with dollars and cents, $5.90. That will be the sales tax for the price of that calculator at $87.49. All right, now let's take this a little bit further. Let's say we want to find the final bill. In this case here, the price of the leather bag is $89.45. If the sales tax rate is $5.45, find the final bill. In this case here, the sales tax is $89.45 times 0.0545. Here we change 5.45% to a decimal as 0.0545 and multiply that by $89.45 to get $4.88. That's the amount of the sales tax. Now to find the final bill, we add that $4.88 to the $89.45 and you'll get $94.33, which is the final cost of the leather bag. Also, there's another type of tax which is called excise tax. Here, this can be imposed on non-essential or luxury products such as tobacco, alcoholic beverages, jewelry, furs, and also services like cell phone and other luxury goods. Here, the excise tax is usually calculated as a percent of a product or a service price, but it also can be calculated as a fixed amount per item sold. So here, to find the excise tax, you always take the excise tax rate and multiply it by the price of the item. Let's take a look at this example. Let's say the price of a bottle of champagne is $27.79. Find the total tax if the sales tax rate is 7.18% and the excise tax rate is 5%. We first find the sales tax. Okay, in this case here, we're going to take the $27.79, multiply that by 7.18%, change that to a decimal, it will be 0.0718. Multiply that by $27.79, you'll get to two decimal places $2. So the sales tax on this bottle of champagne will be $2. Now let's find the excise tax. Here, 5% as a decimal will be 0.05. We multiply that by $27.79 to get approximately $1.39. So the excise tax on the bottle of champagne will be $1.39. Now to find the total tax, you'll take $2 and add $1.39 to it. You'll get $3.39. Okay, so that will be the total tax for the bottle of champagne. Now, if I was to take this a little further by finding the final bill, we'll add that $3.39, which is the total tax on that champagne. That's the sales tax and the excise tax. Add that to the $27.79, you'll get $31.18 for the final cost of the bottle of champagne. All right, let's look at another type of tax, and that's property tax. Almost all counties and cities impose property tax on real estate, cars, and trucks. The revenue from the property tax is usually spent on services for the local community, like public schools, libraries, and shelters. Now, to find the assessment value, we take the market value and multiply it by the assessment rate. Once we find out what that assessment value is, we'll multiply it by the property tax rate to obtain the property tax. All right, let's look at an example that deals with property tax. Here's one example. The market value of a house is $724,500. Find the assessed value if the assessment rate is 22%. Here we just simply multiply 0.22 when we change 22% as a decimal. We multiply that by $724,500 to get $159,390. That would be the assessment value of the house, which has a market value of $724,500. All right, another example would be finding the property tax. In this case here, the assessed value of a house is $94,367. Find the yearly property tax if the property tax rate is 7.75%. Okay, here we take the $94,367. We change 7.75% to 0.0775. Multiply that by $94,367. You'll get $7,313.44, rounded to two decimal places. That would represent the yearly property tax. All right, another example would be finding the property tax. Here we got the market value of a house being $182,700. Find the yearly property tax if the assessment rate is 31% and the property tax rate is 5.41%. We first find the assessment value, okay, because the assessment rate is 31%. So here we take 31%, we'll change that to 0.31, and then multiply that by $182,700 to get the assessment value of $56,637. And then from that, we find out what the property tax is going to be. So we take that assessment value of $56,637, multiply that by 5.41%, as the decimal will be 0.0541. when we multiply those two together, you'll get $3,064.06. That would be the property tax, or the yearly property tax on the house at $182,700. Okay, and one more example. The market price of just a house is $289,700, and the market price of a lot is $23,300. Here we find the yearly property tax on both properties if the assessment rate is 18.28% and the property tax rate is 2.62%. Now, they give us a hint to find the total market value of both properties first. So here, we're going to add the $289,700 to the $23,300, and you'll get $313,000. So that represents the total market price. And from that, we go ahead and find out what the assessment value is by multiplying $313,000 by 18.28%. As a decimal will be 0.1828. So 0.1828 times $313,000 will be $57,216.40. That's the assessment value. Now we want to find what the property tax is going to be. Well, the property tax rate is 2.62%. So 2.62% as a decimal will be 0.0262. We multiply that by $57,216.40, and you'll get $1,499.07. So the total, or the yearly property tax on both of those properties will be $1,499.07. All right, the next thing we'll look at is simple discount, which is a reduction of the original price. A discount is usually defined as the percent off the original price. Usually most stores offer discounts of certain items.